Welcome back to the Red Dirt Road podcast. I'm your host, Marshall Farnsworth, here with, as always, Alex Breitenbach. We got a short podcast coming at you today, talking about the late, great Charlie Daniels, obviously the great country solo artist and of the Charlie Daniels Band. Have you been a big Charlie Daniels fan, Alex?
I mean, honestly, I've been, I want to say, not as good of a fan as I would have expected myself to be right now. Because I have a lot of respect for, the classic country artists and, Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash, and, the Highwaymen, Willie Nelson. I I have been sort of into Charlie Daniels, but nowhere near as much as like Johnny Cash or anything like that. Now, I really do love Charlie Daniels, and I think his impact on the music industry has been tremendous. I mean, I saw him personally. I saw the Charlie Daniels Band twice in concert. I saw them once in 2010 at the fair. At the Lorain County Fair in Wellington, and then I saw them again. They came to my hometown in Connecticut in 2017, and I got a chance to go see them. And I'll tell you, like, even in spite of the fact, like, I don't know much music by Charlie Daniels. I'm going to be honest. I know Long-Haired Country Boy and The Devil Went Down to Georgia, and that's about it. Those are the only two Charlie Daniels songs that I really know. And then there was one song, the name escapes me right now, but it is like the fastest talking blues I've ever heard. That's by the Charlie Daniels Band as well. And that was it's just an amazing show. Like, because what I loved about Charlie Daniels as a musician is honestly just the fact that he could deliver a great stage performance, even though, like, even as he was getting older, it was a miracle to see him get out on stage and just do like the best roach stomping dance while playing the fiddle. Like, nobody could play the fiddle like he could, because he could play. Damn, he played the fiddle really well, and I'll say that was probably the cornerstone of the hallmark of the show. That, like, the best part of the show overall was just him, honestly, with his fiddle. Because he didn't even need the rest of his band to be good, in my opinion. I think that, and everybody, to the point where, like, even in Connecticut, everybody knew his music. Like, the show was sold out when I went there. Both shows that I went to were sold out, packed to the roof with people just dying to see Charlie Daniels. And I think that even when I saw him, he was, I think that how old was he when he died? Let's see, he died.
He was 83.
Oh yeah, he was 83 when he died. And
if you're listening to this, he just passed away just 3 days ago. Same thing here. I growing up didn't listen to a ton of Charlie Daniels. Here's some of his his personal life and a little bit about his death and leading up to it. So it says that he married Hazel Juanita Alexander back in September of 1964. They had one kid, a son, Charles Daniel Jr. It says, an avid fan of the University of Tennessee sports, Daniels enjoyed hunting, fishing, snowmobiling, and other outdoor activities. He was a member of the NRA and performed on their videos. He suffered back in January of 1980 a major arm injury while digging fence post holes on his farm near Mount Juliet. He suffered 3 complete breaks in his right arm and 2 broken fingers when his shirt sleeve caught on a spinning auger.
Ooh.
The injury required surgery and sidelined him for 4 months. Daniels was successfully treated for prostate cancer in 2001. On January 15th in 2010, Daniels was rushed to the hospital after suffering a stroke while snowmobiling in Colorado.
Ooh.
So he must have recovered from that and been able to go to your concert.
Yeah.
He was released, it says, 2 days later. During a doctor visit in March of 2013, he was diagnosed with a mild case of pneumonia, admitted to the Nashville hospital for a series of routine tests. Tests revealed that a pacemaker was needed to regulate his heart rate. One was put in on March 28th, and Daniels was released from the hospital within days. And then a few days ago, on July 6, 2020, at the age of 83, he died of a hemorrhagic stroke at the Summit Medical Center in Nashville, Tennessee. So, but I just started listening to some of his music, listened to like his Spotify playlist and stuff, and I really enjoyed it a lot. He was definitely two things. I would say he's a very good storyteller, and he's also very funny, which are two great things about country music that I hope never goes away, because you love listening to music, and then it's enjoyable, but then also having a little bit of humor mixed in there as well. And then his kind of storytelling and his way that he does music is different from any other artist that I've listened to.
Yeah, I personally agree with that. I think that's a great, a great way to sum it up. And I honestly think, well, one thing about his life, based off of what you just said, man, that man does not quit after so many setbacks he's had in his life, just personal health setbacks. You'd think like he just doesn't want to give up. And I think that was also what was so cool about seeing him in 2017 is that he was old then. Like he was still like pretty old for on a spectrum of people who you expect to be.
He would be like 80. He would have been like 80 years old.
Yeah, exactly. He would have been like 80 years old back then. I mean, well, and here's what's interesting. It's not like he didn't have a wheelchair. He didn't have a cane or anything. He stood up. He was dancing. Like, I mean, this guy was physically just like bopping around the stage, and it was a great performance. And I think also what's often understated about Charlie Daniels is he's one of the few, I'd say, country musicians which people sort of try to live their lives to emulate. Like Merle Haggard and Johnny Cash. People see John Wayne on television. Like our grandpa always thought he was John Wayne, because he had that sort of persona. He tried to emulate that. Well, Charlie Daniels, I think, is definitely one of those, and I think he has a great respect and admiration, a great following in most of modern country music. I mean, you look at all of the country music artists, even on the present and contemporary stage, that have posted about his influence and his legacy on the genre. I think like even I saw, because I follow Darius Rucker on Facebook. Darius Rucker posted a picture of him and Charlie Daniels at the Grand Ole Opry, because they're both Opry members. I guess they stick together, and that was really cool to see. I mean, even so much so that Charlie Daniels is in some songs. Like he's just mentioned. Like you've had a good impact on country music when other people reference you, like, because it's all about his one song is his one smash hit is undeniably "The Devil Went Down to Georgia," but like you see remnants of that in Tyler Farr's "Country." That's a great song by Tyler Farr. But he's like, one of the lines in that is like, "We all hoot and holler when old Charlie Daniels calls that devil son of a bitch." Like that's like the big. That's like and it's just it's really sad that he's gone, because he's one of those people that you take for granted. You kind of just expect to be there. But I think that honestly, given I did happen to catch the short clip of the hearse driving down like one of the streets in Nashville right before they were gonna do the burial service and the funeral. And it was a packed. They were waving flags and stuff, and it was all a really good hero's send off, I think, for Charlie Daniels. So it's fun to watch.
We definitely will have to do a song about him sometime soon. I would say narrow down to "Devil Went Down to Georgia" or "Long Haired Country Boy." Probably one of those two. So that will be coming up. Rest in peace, Charlie Daniels. I think that's it for today on the Red Dirt Road podcast. We'll See you guys.